He's coming down. Big bucks can be very visible on the plains, but just because you can see them doesn't mean you can always get into bow range. On this hunt, I encounter some of the biggest, the baddest, the meanest, and wiliest monster bucks I've ever hunted. I'm on the hunt for a true giant. The rut is raging, and every buck I see gets me even more pumped. Hardly ever see cow. All right. Went from a hunting morning to a glassing morning. Be right there. I think I see a deer in the bottom looking at us. Yeah, it's a buck. A nice buck. A really nice buck. You see him down there? No. It's a big old neck. I spotted another buck. Well, now we have two what look like mature bucks. One of them that we know. This other one looks like a really big 8-point. I can't tell. I don't think we know who he is from trail cameras. You know, it's kind of a weird thing, but I definitely am trophy hunting. You know, I'm trying to shoot a really nice buck, and there's a challenge to that that's pretty enjoyable. But there's also like this weird situation where you see deer that are pretty cool, but you know that if you hold off, there can be some really big payoff on a giant buck. So I think what we're going to do is watch this deer for a while. I'm going to make sure I got a good pin on where he is, and maybe he'll stand up and we'll get a little bit better look at him, and it'll help us make our decisions. Greg spotted a doe, and then we were glassing, and sure enough the buck popped up behind her, and I don't know if it's a buck we know or not. It could be that broke off deer, or he could be a new deer, and if he's new and has all his tines, he's big. Got a weird wind now, dude. You never know what might stand up, you know. Bet. That's a big buck. A big sleepy buck. We scared him pretty good. He scared me. Just about the time I was like, oh, he's not in there. There he was. We confirmed that he's broken pretty bad. Man, I would like to have shot that deer though. Why did he not stand up to those snort wheezes? He must have just been conked out or just not in the mood, I don't know. Golly, I wish he was not broke off. I've got to find a buck that's not so mean that he's broken every tine off. I'm going to switch it up and find a tree to hang in on the downwind side of some doe bedding.
After all that action, I need to hop in the truck and warm up. Time to drive and survive with a little buck truck scouting.
I'm gonna really slow down.
Yeah.
See him? Yeah, there he is. It's the 12 with the short twos underneath that squiggly little tree. Let's go get a look at this guy. See the lowest patch of green right there? You can kind of see two big trees right here.
Same buck we were looking at.
Yeah, has to be, right? Okay. So long, big buck. We're going hunting. It's a little buck. There's a doe down here. Going down. Let's get over here to this fence and just see if we can, if they're like out of range and it's just weird. We're just gonna play it conservative because they're liable to be in the same drainage in the morning. He's got the sun and the wind on her. Let's get over here. Try to get this hole. There's a chance of chasing down. Might be a rock. I can't really tell. There's a buck right there. Don't know if you guys see it. He's gonna come right here. I caught us moving up just then. I thought he was fixing to go behind the hill with me. You know what he is? He's a pretty good buck right down there. Get behind that big sage right there. You see him cut behind the plums right there. Just to my left of the plums, there's a deer. Right here, Greg. Right here. See him? I don't know if that's a shooter. That was cool. such short times on this one. He was big for sure. It's May 15th. We may kill it here. March 15th. No, not even March. November 15th. Goodness. We were 1 year removed from the morning I killed the moose bug. On a morning just like this almost. It was a little foggier that morning, but still real foggy down in the bottoms. You couldn't see anything. And we had to wait on the fog to clear. And it's very reminiscent of that. I mean, except for rattling in a pretty good buck already. I mean, that wasn't no slouch. I think we would want him to get a little older. But he was a nice buck for sure. That shows me that if we can find one by himself, he'll play the game. Man, it's tough just seeing broke deer after broke deer. That's like a big mature buck. Big old neck on him. But it's broken. That's cool. It's Buck Central over there. We might go over there and try to get in the mix with all those deer. There's too much good stuff going on over there. Which I don't know, they're kind of getting down the hill pretty quick. I see him over there. Currently, we are watching deer go everywhere in the hills. There's a dinker down here about 600 yards down with that big broke off short tine 9-point. He's down there bedded somewhere with a doe. And then about 1,000 yards from here, there's a really big buck. The one that we watched come off of that hill with the other giant buck. He then split off, came over here, followed this doe over to this bed and bedded with her. It doesn't look like he's super stalkable from his position, but he might be, and we might make a move on that deer. He went around, got downwind of that doe, pushed himself in the plums and sat down. We're making the move officially. I put a pin where I thought that buck that was bedded, I got him real close to where I think he is. So if we want to come back and find him, I think we can. He's going to be in that plum thicket all day, I believe. And then we watched the giant buck crest the hill back into a hole, and it's a place that we can't see. So I don't know if he's bedded yet. I would think he is. It's starting to warm up outside. It's right at 10 o'clock. But we're going to move to a spot, drive around, move to a spot that I think we can look down in there and maybe find him bedded. And if we do, I'm going to do everything I can to stalk this deer and get a shot at him. There's the cedar and there's the cows. Those deer are probably down in there. There's a big buck. There he is. There he is. Yep, he's every bit of what I thought he was. Goodness gracious. They're just going to find a shadier spot. the biggest deer I've ever seen. Okay, he just walked over the hill. They are. That ridge is like 200-ish yards away. At 200, that's 230. That's the one they're bedded on, and they just went right over. And so now, I don't really know where they're at, but we've got enough elevation between us and them that we can get there. Unless they're just right on the backside of it. So we need to slow down. We're just 70 or 80 yards from it and really creep up there, but we got a ton of wind. It's going to help us out a whole lot. They could be anywhere right down there. They're all right there. They might kill him right here. There goes those does.
the gun. I hesitated for a split second. I thought he was going to lock up right there. And I thought I had time to aim, but that wasn't the case. I did the right thing because I didn't feel great about my shot. And I didn't want to. That's a big old buck. He was close, and I could have let go, but I wasn't solid. So I decided to give it a second. We had our chance. But I was just unsure, so I was actually looking up here because I thought that he would come down here and look around, but he had us pegged hardcore. He knew exactly where we were. He saw us about the same time we saw him. I drew, and he saw me, and I had a split second where I could have shot, but I wasn't settled. And it hurts, but before we started this stalk, I told Greg, if God wills it, we're going to kill this deer. And he doesn't will it. God's sovereignty is a thing that we have a hard time with sometimes. It might be sinful to just even feel like you deserve to have a say in the matter. You know, that's what Job's about. But God knows the desires of our hearts. Doesn't mean he's going to give us everything we want, but he gives us what we need. And I guess we didn't need to kill that buck. Right then, at least.
I finally found the true giant I was looking for. That close call with him has me invigorated. I need to go home and see my wife and kids, but it's turn and burn in just a few days to try and track him down. And in the next video, I get my shot.